What's going on, guys? Troublesome here, back with another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I wish this was a reveal, but you're going to see it in the thumbnail, so it doesn't even matter. Clickbait. Finally, I got the Lamborghini Huracan. LP-610. I got it at the auction. Oh my god, you guys, I cannot even tell you. I mean, I can try how freaking long I tried to get this car. Junkyard trip after junkyard trip. I mean, it took me a long time. Junkyard, to the auction, to the junkyard, to the... I was even going to buy a new one at the, what's it called? The car salon, if you will. Couldn't find a damn thing anywhere. Man, it was tough. Oh, those seats are offset. So this is a lit mod. The same guy that did the 512 TR, the Aventador. I think he did the Murcielago too. I believe that. I think that's what. I think that was his too. Anyway, finally got it. Gonna get into it. Cannot wait. I love this car. I'm not a super fan of this car like I am the Countach or the Mercy, but this is such a cool car, and here's why. Well, I think I told you guys before, the Gallardo was kind of the Gallardo was the V10 Lamborghini that it was introduced in the, I don't know, early 2000s. And it was kind of, I would consider, and this is kind of a ridiculous way to say this, but it was kind of the poor man's Lamborghini because it had the look of it kind of had the, the Lamborghini look to it, but it was a hell of a lot more affordable than what the Diablo was and what the Murcielago was and what the Countach was for its day and all that. And it was also had regular opening doors, and it was bigger. It was like, it wasn't bigger, but the seating position was more comfortable, and everything about it was just a little bit more daily driver friendly. And it had a V10 in it. And don't get me wrong, that was a fast car, but it was not Murcielago fast. Well, that's weird. Why won't that come off? Oh, that was weird. So I always considered the V10 version, and the Gallardo actually sat on a very, this is Volkswagen era Lamborghini, so it actually sat on a very similar chassis as the what is it called, the Audi R8. It was similar, and the R8 we know is a performer too, but it's not, hypercar. I don't know, it's not up there in the hypercar realm. It's just not. The Gallardo was very similar, and I always thought, like initially, I always thought that the Huracan, the H is actually silent. It's Huracan or Huracan. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I always thought the Huracan was similar, and it is in the principle that it's, it's more comfy. It's got regular doors on it. It's not as expensive. But Lamborghini did the, which they did something similar with the Gallardo, but I don't think it performed nothing like the Huracan. They did a Performante version of it, and it was hot. And I don't know the horsepower numbers and all that stuff. I really kind of wish I did. I should have researched that. I might look it up here in a minute. But it actually beat the Aventador Super Veloce in the Nurburgring and the Porsche 918. Those are both really high dollar hypercars, and the Huracan Performante beat them both. Now, there was some controversy around it, and this was just recently. This was just this year. Now, since the Huracan got the time, it was in the high sixes. I don't remember. 6 minutes and 50 something seconds. I don't know. Now, since that happened, the Porsche 911 GT2 or some, I don't know. 911s have gotten so convoluted with their naming and versions of them. I can't even keep track. 911s have been around since the freaking 60s. Anyway, my point is that the Lamborghini Huracan is not just, it's not just a cheap Lamborghini. It's a high performance beast. And I watched a Jay Leno's Garage, and actually I will link that in the description. Jay Leno's Garage, he does a deal. Oh God, I don't know if I'm able to get those. He does a deal with one of the, and he can't even remember which one it was, but he did a deal with one of the engineers of Lamborghini with a Huracan, and they go drive it and stuff, and it's pretty cool. But that guy talks about how the spoiler, I never knew why spoilers on these newer hypercars had the, old spoilers back in the day were just usually just flat, and they were just strictly downforce. And some of them had like a vertical wing, like vertical wings on the side that also provided like linear stability, straight line stability. But a lot of the newer cars have these weird angled turn downs at the ends, and I always thought it was a cosmetics thing. Like, it just goes better with the body lines because the cars are usually so angular. There's something wrong with that. I do not know what it is. But anyway, it's not. They're actually to grab air on lateral movement and push that side of the car down to increase traction. Isn't that rad? That may have been common knowledge, and I may just be an idiot for not knowing it. But the engineer, the Lamborghini engineer was on there talking about it. Or maybe he's a CEO. I don't remember. But he was on there talking about what those are for, and I never knew that. Like, everything is designed for such a specific purpose on these newer cars. It's just crazy. And the one that they were doing, and I don't know what level of Huracan this is, but because you can get like your consumer model, which is still a couple $100,000, or you can get the the crazy performers. But there are opening and closing vents on the back end of it and on the front end of it that introduce more cooling. They change the aerodynamics of it to perform better on lateral movements, and it's all sensor based, and it's crazy. It's a weird place for an ABS module. Probably not in a Lamborghini. It's probably normal. Anyway, guys, I encourage you to check out that link after you finish watching this, and just look at how freaking intricate there's that stupid corner window again. Just look at how crazy intricate the thinking is that goes behind the engineering of these modern supercars. It's insane. And when you go back just 30 years ago to the 80s, right? Yeah. Barely, but yeah. When you go back just 30 years ago to the 80s, the Countach, when it came out with the wing, because the original Countach didn't have that wing, when it came out with the wing in the 80s, it was something they were putting on in the parking lot to make it look better. It was actually completely non-functional. And as a matter of fact, it made it perform worse. It actually made the front end lift at speeds. It was like a super dangerous addition to it. But you got to admit, it looked pretty damn cool. But all the features on the newer stuff is functional. There were little mechanical louvers inside of here that function, and it had that wing, and I don't think this one has that wing option. Now, I haven't looked at the body parts yet. This guy may have, gone all out with it. Because if you remember on that Murcielago, if you watch the video on the Murcielago that I did, he really got into details on the on the extras. There was a super wide body kit and all kinds of stuff for that other one. For that Murcielago specifically. So this has got a supercharged V8 in it. I'm kind of figured that that's what it would have, but I really want. I'm gonna keep this paint the way it is because the color's right. I mean, the color's good. I'm just gonna fix what I've got. Most of that stuff seemed to repair. So maybe I should speak to what the Nurburgring is. It's a racetrack in Nurburgring, Germany. It's got rich history. It's also got some tragedy around it, but it's a racetrack in Germany that it's kind of become this standard for street legal car lap times. All these guys, all these manufacturers that make these supercars, it's like what they go by, and I don't really know why or how it happened, but there's a couple of different circuits of it, but basically the whole thing is like 12.93 miles long, and it's asphalt, and it's grueling because it's not smooth, it's not flat, it's got dips and humps and crazy hairpins, and the asphalt's a little bit jagged and rough, and and they race, I guess they race real like F1 and things like that on it too. I'm not super familiar with European racing, but it's become this, I don't know, it's just become this iconic thing that these supercar manufacturers go by, like, well, we did 7 minutes on the Nurburgring, and it's like the thing. I don't really understand why or how it ever happened, but it did, and it's a cool racetrack. It really is. But it's got a ton of history. It's kind of neat. So that's what it is. So the first one to break now let me back up. I'm referring to street legal cars here that do the Nurburgring. This is production vehicles that one could actually own and drive on the street. This is not race cars. Well, that's not right. That's an 81% part. This is not race cars I'm talking about. So the first vehicle to break 7 minutes, everything had been above 7 minutes, low sevens, but above 7 minutes, for ever. The first one to break the 7 minute mark was Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce. And I don't know what year that happened. Like, it was recent. It was like 15 or 16 or something like that. And I'm just going to talk about recent times. I don't think the Gallardos ever had top lap time in the world. But the Huracan has. Porsche and Lamborghini seem to go back and forth. There's been some Corvettes. The Nissan GTR held it for a while. Dodge Vipers have had it, believe it or not. Those uncontrollable things. Raced up. And then some kind of weird... There's been some oddities, too, that I saw on the list. Of course, I don't even know what they are, but... Anyway, this Nurburgring is just... It's that. It's just become this thing. And the fact that the V10, Huracan, even though it was a super... Or the... Puffermonte... I still think it's impressive as hell that it did it. And it's the mild-mannered Lamborghini. It beat its big brother, the Aventador. It's just fascinating. Fascinating. Alright, boys. Back ends together, except for that stupid spring cap, because I'm out of it. I'll put together this front end. This guy actually went to quite a bit of effort. You don't see supercars on Car Mechanic Simulator, supercar mods, that actually have the entire suspension. It's usually just bits and pieces, which makes for easy restores, but it makes for, I don't know, it's just not as realistic. So my hat's off to Lit, the guy that made this mod, for getting all the bits and pieces in here, making it as authentic as possible. You know, given the materials that he's got. It's even all-wheel drive. It's got the front drive shaft in it. Huracan's come in all-wheel drive. The LP-610 is probably all-wheel drive. You can get them rear only. This is one of those cars that's just... It's you know, super expensive. I think they start at right around $200,000 new. That's base model, which is not like when you get a base model Huracan, you get a Mitsubishi Mirage with crank windows. You know, it's a nice car. It just doesn't have all the hots, but it seems just a little bit attainable, you know? Especially when you got 918 Porsches that are going for, you know, over $1 million, and Bugatti Veyrons, and, you know, going for over $1 million, and I don't know. It's nice. Like this Porsche 911s, it's nice to see some pretty attainable supercars that will just eat. Just eat shit when it comes to being fast. Nissan GTR is another one that is freaking fast and totally affordable. Under $100,000. Go zero. Now, I did download the Nissan GTR, but I haven't seen any yet. So I will be doing an episode of the GTR as soon as I track one down. But for right now, I haven't come across one yet. I haven't played... Oh, crap. Haven't played Car Mechanic Simulator in a few days. Well, because spin tires is just fun. And I also read some stuff yesterday online that there were some problems with it, but apparently there aren't, because I just jumped in here and found my freaking Lamborghini. I did finish up those two... I'm talking a lot. But I did finish up those two cars that I had in here. If you guys watched my last episode, 512TR Car Mechanic episode, I had a F40 and a Shelby Daytona coupe in the garage also that I had gotten from the junkyard that I basically purchased just to make buku bucks. To which I did. I finished them and sold them and made buku bucks. So now I'm at 17.3 million. I was at 17 and a half before I bought this Lamborghini. Okay, well, I'm in the parts bin here to get parts for the Huracan, and it looks like there are not any aftermarket things, so I was wrong. Poopy-doo. All I really needed was glass, but there's no spoiler, Performante stuff or anything like that, so I'm cool with it, though. I am totally cool with it. I did buy the stinking... those caps. I think that's it on the suspension. Look at that outline. Look at that freaking outline, man. That is a sexy car. I just am easily impressed, I guess. Let's throw all this glass in this beast. I think that's 100% body. Yes, it is. Ooh, look at it. Alright, boys, I took a chance on some wheels. I took a chance on the wheels. I do not know how it's going to go. Do not know. I did go with gray seats. And I didn't see this steering... Oh, it's an M3 steering wheel. I didn't see that steering wheel. Maybe I wasn't looking close enough. But I went with something similar. I do not know how I'm supposed to get to that stuff up there. I guess I got to go through back here. Open. Yeah. Yeah. This is where I got to get it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, how do I get there? Intercooler under the car. And there's the battery. All right. So, I got the battery. Let's see. What do I have? I got the battery in there. I got to raise this up to get the fuel tank and the... got to get the intercooler out of here. Yeah. Intercooler. And then fuel tank. Yes. Yeesh. Okay. Okay, so now it's time to put these wheels on. These always come with that avalanche wheel, and I'm not a big fan of it. Well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. Basically, that's what it boils down to. Not a big fan. So I did this thin, spokey, racy looking thing. Oh, poop. The other one is on the balancer still. Dang it. The other front. Because I did wider in the back. I did not do offset... I didn't do offset rim sizes, like 20s in the front, 22s in the back. I did 22s all the way around. I did do wider in the back, but I didn't do as wide as I probably maybe should have. I don't know. It still looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Damn, that's dope. I think that's so dope. I love it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, will ya? Oh, I love it. I think it looks so much better than those avalanche wheels. Okay, I don't think there's anything left to do on the car except the engine. And the front license plate, which I don't even know where that would go. Oh, right there in the middle. Works for me. Okay, guys, as per protocol, this is a typical supercharged V8. I am going to rebuild it off camera. Save you guys the time that it's going to take me here. And then I'll jump back in when the engine is nice and fresh. All right. That is a built V8. Supercharged. And actually, I went to the performance shop and I went and got some goodies. So it should be hot, hot, hot. Oh, battery. Open. There we go. Let's see. Where's that booger? Little booger. Come on. There you is. Alright, now I gotta go under. And I come from the land down under. I thought that spring was rusty for a minute. Oh my goodness, that's challenging. All right, drive shaft. Ring. What am I forgetting? Somebody text me and let me know. I just ran into the engine stand. Oh, I'd be a klutz. Oh my gosh, I got everything. We are hundreds across the board. 305,000. Now I do need to put some oil in this thing. Where's the oil cap at? There it is. I think I'm going to be past the 1,000 horsepower mark on this one, boys. I think I am. We's going to find out. Dynomometer. Here we go. Of course I want to test it. 703 stock. I did pretty much every performance part I could on the engine. Only thing I didn't do is the air cleaners and the fuel pump. It should be over 1,000. Oh yeah, 1,200 horses. Woo-wee. Look at that. Okay, throttle control on 1,200 horses is probably going to be nearly impossible. I just want to see if I can hit that 300 mark. I'm going to stay in the car because I do much better. Okay, here we go. Dash looks good. $280. Oh, I can't make it. $280. I didn't make it. I didn't make it to 300, guys. I only made it to 285 kilometers an hour. Maxed the engine out quick in 5th gear, and I got there fast, but I couldn't get past 280 something, and that's only 177 miles an hour, and that's disappointing. I don't really know why. Oh, anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Appreciate you joining me and hanging out with me today. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe. I drop new content every single day, and I've been been looking my butt off for this Huracan, and I'm glad I finally found it. I'm glad I finally got to do a video on it. Anyway, appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys next time.